Now, October the 2nd is also World No Alcohol Day. It encourages the general public to say no to alcohol. The day also focuses on the dangers of alcohol. According to the World Health Organization, every year the harmful use of alcohol causes 3 million deaths. There is a relationship between the harmful use of alcohol and many mental and behavioral disorders. The harmful use of alcohol brings about social and economic losses to individuals and societies as well. Harmful alcohol use plays a role in 200 diseases and injuries. Some of the diseases related to excessive alcohol use include high blood pressure, liver disease, stroke, and various types of cancer. The Western Cape Health Department has urged people struggling with alcohol addiction to seek help ahead of No Alcohol Day. The department says over 13% of deaths in people aged between 20 and 39 are attributable to alcohol abuse. The department's spokesperson Shimini Rachter says they have more than these cases, and we talk about this now with Dr Varoshini Nadesan. She's a senior lecturer in the Department of Social Work and Community Development at the University of Johannesburg, non-alcoholic board member and international representative of Alcoholics Anonymous South Africa. Very good evening to you, Ms. Nadesan, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Would you consider today being a success? And I wonder how many people actually knew that it was No Alcohol Day.
Good evening, Tafiso. Yes, World No Alcohol Day is observed on the 2nd of October, but I don't think many people were aware of this. It aims to highlight the risks of alcohol consumption, but people and organizations around the world are raising awareness. Today, and from yesterday actually, I was sitting in the World Services meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. And so this was raised there, but it was also raised that not many people are aware of this being No Alcohol Day.
And I was actually just reading up on the history of when it was floated. I think it was India in 2008 in honor of Mahatma Gandhi. Can you just take us back a little to why it was important, and also attaching it to the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, the symbolism thereof?
Well, Mahatma Gandhi was born on this day in 1869, and Mahatma Gandhi's life was dedicated to peace and to the movement of Satyagraha, which was a very peaceful movement of resisting change, and India has seen the light in terms of taking Mahatma Gandhi's peacekeeping initiatives into the field of recognizing alcohol consumption as a crisis, because we know worldwide alcoholism is reaching disproportional rates as well.
And I mean, just coming back to the South African context, we had a rather tragic incident here just several weeks ago, months ago, involving young children. The age group, it was quite surprising and saddening, of course, to see that you would have so many deaths in one place where they sell alcoholic beverages, and they were known to frequent these places, and it's become something of a pandemic. If you could just take us through how bad it is in this country and what ages we should start worrying about. We're talking about the ages of 14 to 15, I believe even 12 was mentioned at some point in terms of gross alcohol abuse.
Yes, Tapiso, it was very sad that a tragic event such as what had happened a few months ago in Eastern Cape and in Gauteng had to bring to light the seriousness of alcohol use, alcohol misuse, and alcohol abuse. Alcohol has no determined boundaries. The range ranges across the spectrum of the lifespan. There's also significantly high number of young adolescents, and as you said, in the latency ages, under 12 years of age, who have access to alcohol and see this as experimentation, which then develops into a habit. And the older adolescents see alcohol as a means of social interaction, or being cool, or having the attitude of why not. But there also appears to be a higher incidence of alcohol usage amongst teenage girls. Young adults who are now legally permitted to take alcohol are seen to openly use alcohol as a means of socialization and competition as to who can take what kind of liquor. And as one gets older, it becomes then too late to stop. By then, alcohol usage has become a habit and a means to escape the dysfunction around them. And we find that mothers who take alcohol during pregnancy give birth to young who are predisposed to alcohol. And a few years ago, South Africa had the highest fetal alcohol syndrome stats in the world. And this alone should be indicative of a disaster, particularly if seen in relative to the impact on the offspring.
And as you said, we've normalized alcohol drinking, and as much as the alcohol industry puts on those labels, not for drinking under the age of 18, but it's also the advertising thereof. In South Africa, you can't switch on the television without seeing at least one alcohol advertisement. And of course, it's made nicer to the taste so that people who ordinarily probably wouldn't venture that way would even drink that. So as a society, what should we be doing? We're saying that it plays a role in 200 diseases and injuries. The cost to the country alone is in the hundreds of millions of rands annually. How do we get it through to communities? That is not even about an age thing, an age limit. It's about the permissiveness of it.
You are quite right. So, as a community, we've condoned the use of alcohol. In fact, we accept it. This is one way of socializing. And we fail to see the impact it's going to have on different people in the community. For instance, we allow adolescents to join, with us as parents. And I see many parents who openly invite their children to drink. And this permission gives the youngster with an underdeveloped mind the okay and the go-ahead to get into a state of intoxication. The attractiveness of the advertisements that you see, are draw cards to people. Now, adolescents are more sensitive than adults to memory impairment resulting from alcohol abuse. And they're struggling to find their own identity, their place in the universe. And you find that the effects on the brain and on brain functioning of, for instance, the adolescent group, brings upon impaired balance, impaired motor coordination, impaired decision making. It's an amnestic agent. It interferes with the person's or the drinker's ability to form memories. So, as a society, one needs to also take into account what are we doing to contribute to the problem.
When you say, as you mentioned, it's so ingrained in our culture, whether we're relaxing, celebrating, there's always a reason to bring out a bottle, pop up something. And I saw in just some of the advertorials on how to observe non-alcoholic day to say, if you see somebody who drinks excessively, have a word with them. But at what point do you say, you are drinking excessively? Because they are functioning alcoholics.
Well, yes, you get functioning alcoholics because no two people are affected in the same way. You'll find some people would be able to have a whole bottle of alcohol, in a week, for instance, and not show the same symptoms as somebody who has just one, shot of alcohol a day. So people have different tolerance levels. Also, people's physical, makeup is different as well. And you find that when you look at the signs of people in alcohol, who are using or abusing alcohol, really, the signs could, vary from one to another as a society. So you have the physical signs, you have the emotional, the mental health, the mental health warning signs, the signs of families in disarray. You've mentioned some of the physical signs, included actually are enlarged blood vessels causing redness in the face. So some may be very neat, while others might be very unkempt. And you have repeated alcohol consumption despite health warnings. And then you have the emotional guilt, the emotional impact as well, the feelings of guilt, the emotional justification. Everyone drinks, it's okay for me then, all right? Or I need to fix and other things, and drinking is just not my way of coping. Or you may think that you've not reached rock bottom as yet. But lots of us, who have experienced alcoholism in the family have also noticed family dysfunctioning. The family has the need to hide liquor, resulting in constant squabbling related to alcohol, and the person feels their life is a mess. So you have some people who have a high tolerance for alcohol, and you have some people who actually don't. So the most significant in all of this is the denial dilemma. It's just too hard to just totally quit. You know you can quit, but you're the breadwinner, your job may be at stake, or you'll go for a treatment, but what will you tell everyone? So the issues of confidentiality as well comes up.
Stigma attached to that. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Much appreciated. That there is Varoshini Nadesan, Dr. Varoshini Nadesan is a senior lecturer at the Department of Social Work and Community Development at the University of Johannesburg, and also a non-alcoholic board member and international representative of Alcoholics Anonymous South Africa, speaking today about World No Alcohol Day.